Youngest Jay here with my first blaster review of 2021. And this time is featuring a Busby built blaster, of course. Wouldn't be me without doing that. But we've got the Adventure Force Crossbow. This thing is of course, being Adventure Force, it's a Walmart exclusive through in-store purchases or on Walmart.com. Now, for your $20 retail price, because it comes in at like $19.96 with Walmart's pricing, you get the crossbow itself, which is a magazine-fed, spring-powered blaster, and it comes with 2 magazines that are the interlocking type. It means you can click them together. A little illuminated red dot sight that clicks onto the top tactical rail, as well as 20 of their long-distance darts. Now, let's open this up and see what we think of it. Now, when you take your crossbow out of the package, the first thing you're going to have to do is to get the grip and actually slide it onto the blaster. Takes a bit of force, and you might even need to pry it against yourself to get it to lock in place. And you will hear that little solid thud when it hits, and it will be locked in place pretty solid. Now, right off the bat, the one complaint that I have with this blaster is ergonomics. The grip is a little small, it's a little tight on an adult hand, and the stock is, of course, quite short. You're going to end up using it more like out away from you and firing it. The grip's not a real deal killer for me, but that's going to be one of those that's personal preference. It is a bit tight, and you do end up having your hand forced into the stock. But let's go over some of the features of what you get. Included is the red dot sight, and this is actually powered by 2 AA's that you insert into the battery door in the front. Remove the Phillips head screw, place your 2 AA's in, and then you will be able to hit the button here on the right hand side, and it will actually light up. Let's see if I can pass that on through here to the camera, and let's get ourselves a little light. There we are. You can actually see it power on and off. And it actually does work. It has little crosshairs in there as well, as you can see, so that even without the light being powered, it does provide a aiming point. And that does, of course, as I said before, slide right onto the top of the tactical rail, and then you're ready to go. And I actually do think that that looks quite good. I absolutely love Busby's little ladder sight that they included with the Thermal Zenith, or with the Zenith, not the thermal version. I'd love to see that included with a few other blasters, because it actually works real well for a dart firing blaster. But this is a pretty nice little addition, especially considering the fact that some of the competition sell red dot sights of their own branding for $10 to $15 separately. Remember, the blaster, 2 mags, 20 darts, and the sight, $20. That's a good deal already. But moving on to the magazines, they are 10 round capacity, and they do have loading instructions here on the sticker, as Busby has been doing for quite some time. But they do have the little tabs, and what you do is you take the little tabs and you can interlock them, click it together, and then you have a flippable magazine. It's a nice design. Busby has actually updated their magazines on nearly all of their blasters so far that are mag-fed to have that feature, and at no extra cost. So fantastic for Busby to be doing this. And yes, this is an Adventure Force sold product. I did a whole video on Adventure Force and what you need to know about them, so you should go check that out. I'll put it in the card above if I remember. But this is a nice little feature, and among blasters that you find in the Adventure Force lineup that are made by Busby, this is something that they will do. Very nice. But it's quite simple. It includes some of the blue tipped and green foam long distance darts. Load a few of them into your magazine. It comes with 20. That's enough to fill both magazines fully. I'm just going to throw a few in here to demonstrate firing it. Load it, and just pull the top priming bar here, which is actually very light and easy to do, and it has a good solid punch to it. I actually took this thing and put it over the chronograph because I've actually got quite a bit of experience with this model, since it is the same as the non-Adventure Force branded. It's the Busby Walking Dead series Dwight's Crossbow. That is actually the exact same blaster, recolored and sold under the Walking Dead series. So, different colors, different branding, same blaster. And across having a few of these now, I also have another one, as you can see right here behind me, that is headed for the modding bench. But all three that I have put over the chronograph average around 80 feet per second, which is quite good for a stock blaster, coming under $20 and coming with all the accessories it does. And here's the key point. It uses the same internals as other Buzzbee mag-fed springers, which means, one, they're easy to prime, they have smooth function, and they have a lot of potential for those of us out there who are tinkerers. So there's a lot of mod potential in there for those of you who want to go ahead and take it apart and tinker. For those of you who are just wanting a good solid blaster straight out of the package, you're going to see with that 80 feet per second, it's going to outpace Nerf blasters right out of the box. Nerf tends to shoot about 70 feet per second, which gives them a inferior range compared to Buzzbee blasters. With angle shots, the range claims that Buzzbee does of 90 or 100 feet, I have consistently achieved those every time I test it. So, keeping that in mind, you have a nice performing, smooth blaster that works well. The stock is more for looks than for actual function. I mean, let's be honest there. But it's solidly made. I'm going to do a simple test that I do among my own self here. Listen. That's me actually prying it back and forth by hand. And I am not a weak guy. I can put a lot of force into this. There's very little noise. That's a sign of solid manufacturing. And Buzzbee has really stepped up their game. I love this. This is on the same quality level as Abraham's M16, as the Thermal Hunter, the Zenith. Those blasters, say, even better than some of the older ones that are much beloved, like the Sentinel and the Brute. This is actually having better built quality than those, and I definitely put it on par with other major blaster manufacturers. So, solid built, great price, lots of accessories. Again, 20 darts, 2 mags, sight, blaster, and all for $20. That's hard to beat. Now, it is a unique format. The bow arms and the string, this is just elastic. It doesn't provide any additional propulsion. This is purely spring powered by pulling back the T-bar and loading a dart and firing. But another key note is that because of the magazine well being so open, this thing can accept all magazines. It'll take drums of other manufacturers, it'll take Buzzbee's own drum, it'll take aftermarket magazines like the Worker 22 round curved, which is what I use with mine, and it makes it to where this thing is highly versatile. It's just kind of got a small grip and a stock that you're not going to ever use. So basically treat it like it's a pistol crossbow. I mean, you could actually just trim off the stock Buzzbee there and be done with it. Or make the stock a lot longer to where everybody could use it. That's my only little nitpick, is that little stock. But this thing overall, I highly recommend it. It's, again, it's $20. You really can't go wrong. It's a unique profile in a blaster. It's fun to use. You get the 2 flippable magazines that you can attach. It's got solid performance straight out of the package, where I'm getting over 80 feet per second. I averaged actually 81.2 if you want my exact number. And that's with aftermarket darts. I fired men guns through it, worker full lengths, Buzzbee's own long distance darts, Nerf Elites, Buzzbee Precise Pros, and the whole average of firing 30 shots was 81.2. That's great. And $20. 2 magazines. The red dot sight, which again, I will say, Nerf sold these sights, something very similar to this, averaging retail price of $10 to $15 for just this. That's half the price of the whole kit here. So, go to Walmart, and if you're looking for something just a little different than your typical blaster, check this out. I'll put a link to the listing on Walmart's website, because that is the only place you can get it. But this is Mogus Jake with my first review of the new year. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.